blastmusic247.com. We're changing the industry one artist at a time. That's my girl right there.
Hello, everyone.
Hola! Salutations, Earthlings.
It is Thursday again, and as you could probably see beneath us, this is Carla's 75th episode. Amazing.
I'm so excited. It's my grandbaby say. I'm so excited. Hey, Freak!
Thank you, Freak.
Thank you so much. I'm excited.
So how was your week?
You know what? It's been pretty okay. Yeah, I really don't have any complaints. I've been coming home, turning on my TV, watching my shows. God is good, huh? Hallelujah. So all is well. I'm good. And how about you?
Everything is great. Had a good week. Had a challenging week, but not in the sense of where it was trying to tear me down. It was just, typical work week. We had Mondays, 3 days this row. But Thursday got here quick, though. You know what I'm saying?
Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. Because, baby, I didn't know. I was like, it took our week to get here, didn't it? Ain't it what to say?
I feel you. And some good news coming across, for my family and everything. So it was just a refreshing thing. Just a refreshing thing to hear. Just some W's and not some L's. It's a lot of good stuff. That's all. So I'm happy for them. I'm happy this week is over.
Yes.
So
yes. And and then shout out to Javetta. Javetta's here. And we're going to have us a girls' night this weekend. So, before she go back to Louisiana. So, hey, sis.
JB.
Yes. So, we're excited. And Troy, when you come up here, we're going to have to get you some of her sweets and some of Renee's face sweets, honey. You going to be, we're going to hook you up.
Javetta already got me with the popcorn, and it's just popcorn. So, I know her other stuff. It's got to be slamming, but her popcorn. You know
what the best thing is she makes to me?
What's that?
She makes these Oreo cookie things that's covered in chocolate, and she can put whatever picture you want on them, baby. And when you eat them, it tastes like all the sins of the world are melted in your mouth and turned to goodness. Hallelujah. Baby, it's so good. It's a fat girl fantasy snack. I love it. Okay. Look, you had to think about it, Troy.
I had to pause and catch myself for a moment.
It's so crazy. Okay.
So let's go ahead and pay some bills because I know you got an exciting guest tonight, so I'm looking forward to it. So let's go ahead and start with Miss Makaya Mitchell.
The sweetest slime, Makaya Mitchell. Look, you see it? I mean, say less. My hair, look at that. See how healthy it is? That's because my sis hooks me up, really. Makaya is a master loctician. She is a master hairstylist, period. She cuts, she colors, She's a makeup artist. I mean, she does it all, y'all. And now she's also one of the instructors for Ashtae, Ashtae, y'all, cosmetics brand.
Welcome,
So Red, shout out to you for that intro to Carlos and the Matthews way, baby. That thing is thinging. You hear me talking about? Okay, that's wonderful. Now back to the sponsor. Now, Micaiah will get you straight. She'll have you looking like somebody. So you need to go see her. She's all about keeping your hair healthy. She has products there that she sells, that she makes as well. I mean, you got to go see her. Here's the way to go see her. You can call her at 336-734-3307. You can catch her on Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat at The Sweetest Line. She's also on Facebook under her name, Micaiah M. Mitchell. And when you do go see her, make sure that you tell her Carla sent you, okay? All right.
Yes, indeed. Real quick, D-Ray says, appreciate you, sis.
Yes, thank you.
All right,
Second,
next, of course.
we have Intuitive Readings by Myra. I'll say that again. Intuitive Readings by Myra. And what is that, you ask? Just what it says. An intuitive reading by Myra. And what she does is she talks to you and reads your energy, and she tells you all the things that your spirit tells her. And it's not voodoo, it's not hoodoo. This is this is what our ancestors was doing in Africa before that stuff got snatched away from us. And she's very good at what she does. Let me tell you, ain't that right, Troy? And she'll have you sitting up looking like this. So listen, you gotta call her. If you want to call her and book a session, you can call her at 336-480-1653. She's right here in Winston-Salem. But you can also book her virtually, and you can go online to intuitivereadingsbymyra.com and do your sessions online, virtual, and she's amazing. And most importantly, when you go, tell her Carla sent you, okay? And last but not least, there's my friend, Pastor Paul, in that jerk sauce. Listen, y'all need to go online to nhjerkcenter.com and order y'all's sauce. It's jerk barbecue sauce, y'all, and it's amazing. Now, disclaimer, I always tell people, don't I, Troy? If you don't really have a hot mouth, don't get that hot and spicy. That's for people that have brave, hot souls like me. Okay? Now, if you want to get the mild, get the mild. It tastes amazing. We put it on everything around here. Chicken nuggets, french fries, mashed potatoes, you name it. We dip it in it. Okay? It's amazing. We cook our vegetables on the grill. It's so good. Y'all, I tried it. Oh, Troy, I didn't even take no picture. Guess what I did?
What you do?
I soaked my lamb chops in. I put my lamb chops and let it sit all day while I was at work. And when I came home, baby, it was just falling off the bone like butter.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Pastor Paul. So y'all go to nhjerkcenter.com. Get you a bottle right now. It's only $12 with shipping and handling.
It is.
This is homemade. Okay? And when you order, please tell him Carla sent you. All right.
I'm telling you, that sauce it's incredible.
It's the sauce. It's the sauce. You hear me?
Yes, indeed. It's the sauce.
It's amazing. So,
tell us about your guest tonight.
Tonight's guest is the Mr. Ross from the Ross Cloud Podcast. Y'all, okay, I'm fangirling. Let me just say this, because this man is one of my favorite actors and one of my favorite podcasters. So when he agreed to be on my show, I did a little jig in here because I was like, Mama, I made it. Listen, he is very talented. And I can't wait to interview him because I don't know him personally like that, but I already consider him like a big bro already. So listen, we are going to bring him on and we're going to chop it up. episode 75. I had to bring on the big guns. I had to get somebody that's staying out here in this world. And he is. So without further ado, we have Mr. Carla. There you go. Look, I was like, come on. Podcast.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
How you doing, Mr. Ross?
Oh, wonderful. I'm doing great. Doing great.
We made it. How was your week?
Oh, my week was wonderful. Even if I had a bad week, I'm not going to complain. You know what I'm saying? So I
like
had a
the
great
gospel
week.
Song. When I look around.
Yes.
I bet
when
you
I
can
look
say
around.
the monkey off there. You can say that in church. Baby, that's
No.
the song. You say certain song. You know me, I could never listen. I used to sing on the church choir, baby. I could never get to that. I started shouting for the song be halfway over.
I grew up the same way. Carla. Same way.
I'm just glad to be here. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I had Chris Bray on last week.
Yeah, I saw that. Great show.
And you were in his movie Trauma that we talked about. And you had a very good role. You know what? You tickled me in that.
What did I do, Carla?
Because you was really like, I don't have time. You was that detective. You was like, listen.
Exactly. I was.
And you already knew. You was like, oh, no, this ain't, But it was so good. And,
I appreciate that, too.
I just really enjoyed you in that movie. I have enjoyed you since the first time I saw you was in Daddy's Boys.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all, let me tell y'all something. This man, he done, honey, dance, sang, honey, he did all of it.
Yeah.
And he held it down. And it is a wonderful play. You know, if you can see it, I don't know if they're going to do it.
Yeah, you can go, you can see it on Roku TV. It's G Davis TV. So you can catch a few of those episodes where we were doing some filming right after we were doing theater. G Davis went into doing some filming, and I had a great opportunity to be a part of that great movement with Daddy's Boys. And so you can catch a lot of that on Roku TV, on G Davis TV.
So y'all heard it right here. Go check it out.
Go check that out.
TV, Mr. Garrett Davis. Shout out. He's an amazing behind.
He really is.
He's done it all. So he's done it all. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And my friend Shani, who's going to be on here, Chantel.
Okay.
She was at Daddy's Girls, and so is my friend LaTanya Sims, who plays my sister-in-law in the new show that I'm filming.
Yes. So, I love it. I love it. Great actresses too, by the way.
Oh,
They really are. Great actresses. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I got you here.
Yeah.
I'm just to add everything. Okay, you ready?
Come on, ask me. I'm ready.
Before we do that, what you drink?
Yes. I got a little spice rum right here. A little spice rum. I typically don't drink on my show, but I said, hey, I'm with Crazy Carla Concoctions.
You had to come on Crazy Carla Concoctions.
I had to have a drink. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have to.
I don't have to. But I wanted to be a part. I wanted to be a part and enjoy myself, while I'm sitting here having a conversation with you. Absolutely.
And I love spice rum. It's the island in me, baby. I like that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I like a good Captain Morgan spice rum.
Yes.
Very
this
good.
is called, now this is Kraken. It's called Kraken spice rum. It's gold.
Kraken. Isn't that
it's
smooth?
delicious. It's very smooth. It's great with a cigar too. Not that expensive. So it's good stuff.
And you know what? Rum and cigars go together. So let's
really
listen.
do.
People don't understand. Now, shout out to my sister Chaka. My sister, she loves cigars. I love cigars.
Really? Okay.
Too. I love anytime I go to Florida, I get me a real good Cuban cigar.
Oh yeah, you gotta have it.
Make it happen.
You gotta have it. Yeah, at least once in your life, you gotta have a Cuban cigar. At least once. You gotta have one, and they gotta roll it in front of you too.
Listen, when I
roll it
went
in
to
front
Puerto
of you.
Rico, they did that for me.
Yeah, you got to do it. Yeah.
It was amazing because I didn't know
Yeah.
that could happen like that.
Yes.
And the guy was like, "You want me to roll you one?" I was like, "What? What do you mean?" So I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God!" But yeah,
Great cigar. Great
cigars and
yeah.
rum go together. So
They
your
go
first
together.
question I'm gonna ask you. This is easy.
Sure.
Where you from and where you at?
I'm from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, originally.
Okay.
And I now reside here in Greensboro, North Carolina, and absolutely love Greensboro. Absolutely love Greensboro. I went to North Forsyth High School.
Did you?
Yeah. I went to graduate. I graduated in 91, so I'm a late bloomer. I wanted to play in school.
So that's when I graduated from high school too.
You know, I wanted to play in school.
With my crew then, because one of my best 91. Friends, she graduated in 90. Tanya Forte, that's one of my best friends.
I do know Tanya. I sure do.
And Allison.
Yeah. That's
and let me see who came out in 91. Leon Eaton, Tori.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was my
Dwight
homeboy.
Linville.
I'm trying to think who else
Dwight Linville.
Yeah.
Dwight Linville.
Yeah,
John Black.
His brother is married to my Kelly, who was one of my sister's best friends. Yeah,
I got you. John Black. John Black graduated from North too. He went to North Forsyth.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. John is my guy. I did not
know you were a Viking. See, I went to Glenn.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
I went to Glenn, but I know Tori and them because we all went to Paisley together. When I first moved to Winston-Salem, I went to Paisley in the 8th grade.
Okay.
And then I went to Mount Tabor, 9th grade, and my mom moved to Morningside, and I ended up being a Glen Bobcat. So
I love it. I love it.
So I have friends at I had friends at Mount Tabor, I had friends at North, because some of my Paisley people end up going to Reynolds, some went to North, some went to Mount Tabor. So
yes.
It's a small world. I did not know you were a Viking. Wow.
Yeah. And I'm also a Trojan too, because we left Winston-Salem for a little while, and I went to Doherty High School in Albany, Georgia, up until I'd say probably about my 9th grade year. Okay. And then we relocated back to Winston-Salem. So we traveled a little bit, came back. We lived in Tallahassee, Florida for a little while. Went to Rickards High School in Tallahassee, Florida. And I was part of the show choir, all of that good stuff, you know.
So were your parents military or?
My mom remarried. And when my mom remarried, we relocated to, he was a man's man, Yeah.
That's how we got here.
Yeah. So we moved to Georgia. He passed away, God rest his soul. He passed away. And then we moved to Florida. We moved to Tallahassee, Florida, so my mom could finish her. I think my mom was in the undergrad program, and she was working on her master's, I think, at the time in English. Or her BA. I'm not sure. She was doing an internship at Florida State, FAMU. So yeah. So during that time, mom is just everything. That's all I can say, Carla.
So your mom, listen, let's talk about it. What were we doing at our mamas?
I know. I love my mom. I love my mom.
Me and my sister was talking about that today. My sister, listen.
Yes.
It's 6 years between us. So I feel like my sister, hey Sean, hey everybody, welcome. Hey Paul Crim, hi Lyrical Loud. I saw you come in. Hi. Welcome.
Mm-hmm.
But my mom, especially now that I have kids, even though they're adults now, you understand your parents a lot.
Oh, man.
When you start having your own kids and you realize the sacrifices that were made for you.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what, Carla, that's something you learn both sides too. You learn from your mother and you learn from your father.
Oh, I did.
You learn even in flaws and mistakes. Let's see, how can I say this? I think about, the world we live in today. Everybody's so quick to point the finger and judge. But I feel like everybody, like we said earlier, life be lifing, and you never know what life is going to bring you. And when you're younger, you might have said, "I'll never do that. I'll never do that. I ain't gonna never do that. I promise you, I ain't gonna do that." And they just be lies, Carla. Lies, lies, lies.
What my big mom used to say, honey, don't never say never.
Don't never say never, right? But lessons to be learned in life, they will stay with us forever. And man, yeah.
And
I can say a whole lot
on here because it's June, it's Father's Month. That's how I see it. I see June as Man's Month.
Yes.
And I see, of course, we have Juneteenth, but I really was purposeful in having men on this month, men who are no fathered. Yes. And you have kids, correct?
Yes, I do. I have 4 grown adult children, and I'm currently fathering my 13-year-old. So my 13-year-old, and it's been a roller coaster. When you talk about parenting, when you talk about co-parenting and errors and mistakes and asking for forgiveness, you don't always get that back. But I do believe that if you learn to, accountability is necessary. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Accountability is necessary. And then once accountability happens and you ask for forgiveness, then you have to let time. You have to let time heal those wounds. And as you wait patiently, you do what you can now in that moment. And so my moment was with my 13-year-old son, whom I'm very cherishing every bit of it. Maturity has to come in place when you're co-parenting. And it's not always difficult because, hurt people. And when you hurt each other, those things, they can get terrible, Carla. But I think maturity, taking accountability for your actions, and just being bold and effective communication. Effective communication is key. And I think it's just a conversation. And I think once you have a conversation and you get past the egos between, women and men, it's a tug of war. It's this power thing. And oftentimes we forget it's the child that's suffering the most. And sometimes it's too late.
Well, I had to have that conversation with my father before he died. Because for years, my dad was not around. And it's crazy. I tell people the story because it's my story to tell.
Absolutely.
My daddy lived right in Greensboro with another woman and her kids and didn't see me and my sister for maybe 10, 15 years. We didn't see him.
Did you guys ever conversate or apologize?
Oh yeah,
did he ever apologize?
That's what I said. We got it together. Before my dad died,
gotcha.
Me and my sister were both good. My father died from AIDS in 1995.
Oh wow. Wow.
And when he got sick, we were going back and forth to see my dad, and we established a relationship with him again before he left. But my sister never knew him because when my mom got divorced from my dad, she was pregnant. She had just had my sister, so she didn't really grow up with him like that, like I did.
Yeah,
and so it made a difference, and that's something my dad had to apologize to my sister for.
Yes.
And to me.
Yes.
Because people be like, "Oh, I saw your daddy," and I'll be like, "I ain't seen him."
Listen, ain't nothing like real and being truthful. Nothing about real and being truthful. I think most of us. Yes, I think most of us have that story. With my father, it was the same way. I reconnected with my father probably when I was like 22, and we're good now. And we got the best relationship that we can have after many years. He got a chance to meet all of his grandchildren. And so I don't feel so bad because he did get them. Like I said, he's met each and every one of them. And I think each of them may have a different relationship with him, whether it be distance, whether it be not at all, My 13-year-old though, he absolutely adores my dad. And they're able to conversate. Yeah, they're able to conversate on the phone. So I think you have to work what you can work, Carla, and just keep moving. And I pride myself on that. Living a life of resilience, knowing that it could have been worse. It could have been worse. It could have been worse. But to be on this side of it, that's why I don't understand people being jealous of people. For what? Because you don't know people's story. So they paid a price to be where they at. And that's between them and the Father, So,
sir, all I could do is stare in his face when you say that. I was like, what?
Oh, no, that's real. That's real. I think about what God has done for me. I'm a firm believer. I knew it. I'll tell you, there's no way when I think about my past, there is no way in the world, relationships that I destroyed and things that I just didn't do right, Carla. But man, when I think about God and him redeeming the time in our life and him forgiving us, and not that you don't take accountability for those actions. I had to say sorry to a lot of people, Carla. I had to apologize to a lot of people. And I had to accept the fact that everybody is not going to want to deal with me because of those
because you apologize, right?
Just because I apologize. And those old things. Because
people can forgive you and still not fool with you. And I tell people that all the time.
Yeah,
baby,
that's right. That's right, Carla.
You, but I want my peace. And I'm very hesitant to let you back in once, know.
And you know what? You got to be okay with that. You got to be okay with that. Because if not, you will die miserable, living in guilt and shame. And I don't think nobody should die and live in guilt and shame. You got to keep moving. You got to keep moving. What you going to die for? There's work to be done.
Right. Say it, Shine. What Shine say? Shine said, say it again. You don't know my story or my struggle.
Right,
how you jealous of me. Right.
Thank you. I
love her. That's my sis. And I just wish I lived closer to her. She's in Charlotte. I want to love on her.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah.
That's a sister who's gone through things too. We've all gone through things, right? But
yes, we have.
Because of God's grace and mercy.
That's
I mean, if you believe in God,
if you believe in God,
business, but I do.
That's your business. I do too.
And I also believe my ancestors take care of me. I believe firmly, because they don't teach us this in church. That's something they told us in voodoo. Because we have a power there. We have a power in believing and knowing that our ancestors walk heavy in the spirit for us. And as our grandma said, they intercede for us. And if they were doing it on earth, they're doing it in the spirit. Why is that so hard for people to get through their mind? So I know a lot of these blessings that I get are directly my daddy, Cowboy, rest in peace. My big daddy, my big mama, my aunts and uncles that have gone on, the ancestors I don't even know about.
Yes.
Because you were talking about your father and your mom.
Yes.
And you told me earlier your mom is how you got a lot of your gifts and talents, right?
Yes. Yes, you're absolutely right.
And I got mine from my father and my mother.
I was going to say that. I can't forget my dad. My dad, back in the day, he was part of the 11th Street Bottom crew. Back in the day, they grew up in Boston Projects. My mom grew up in Piedmont Circle. So they grew up in those, they grew up in the projects.
Right.
And my dad used to sing on the corner, do rock back then.
It's okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, baby.
Yeah.
When we moved to Western State, I was like, oh, this is
Yes. And Pops did some community film school. So I think it's important that we get past the anger and the bitterness, because your kids need to know who they are, why they're wired the way that they wired, and then your job is to direct them in the right path, to show them the right path and say, hey, I didn't do this, but guess what? You can do this, because did you know your grandfather did this? And you want to know why you're doing that? So I think it's important that our children know what their grandparents did, great grandparents did, so they can kind of know exactly how God has ordered their steps. You know what I mean? So I'm very grateful. I can't say it enough. I'm very thankful to the Creator for number one, the people that I've been around. I did, like you said, I did some acting. Mom worked for the National Black Theater Festival with Larry and Sylvia for years. She did some great work with them. And of course, like most of us that grew up in Winston-Salem, like we just talking earlier, Carla, you do some ushering. You volunteer
every time,
every time. So, me, Al, and Tanya, we had a great opportunity of passing out flyers during that time. And, and then to later, be able to do media for the National Black Theater Festival about 2 years ago was just absolutely amazing, which came through. See, I look at relationships. I had a relationship with John Black. John Black introduced me to Mike Anderson. Mike Anderson came to the podcast. Mike Anderson, who is been a brother to the show from the beginning, from when we first started. And he was very instrumental he's been very instrumental in the opportunities with the National Black Theater Festival, the Charlotte Black Film Festival, and countless of others events that, when I tell you, I only had 80 subscribers at the time, and I was doing like mad work. So I was doing big projects, but nobody even knew who I was. But God, but God
absolutely
had us in those environments. That's why I don't look at what other people are doing other than those that pique my interest. I definitely, Carla, when you reached out to me, but I had kind of been peeping what you was doing anyway.
Wow, really?
Because, yeah. I think your energy and what you do, though, Carla, I want to give you your flowers on that. And what you do, like I was telling, like we was talking before, it's for us.
Yes.
It's the love for our people, the love for our culture.
Yes.
Just the love that we have for the arts.
Yes.
I don't care if you ain't got 1 million followers. You know what I'm saying? That celebrates you anyway. Because there's not a lot of outlets for us, for those of us but there are a lot of people in our area that are doing some huge things in this arts world that need a voice. And I look at you, I look at my platform, we try to give people their voices so they could talk. So what if you not at the top tier of acting? I don't care about that. Everybody, guess what? I know somebody that wish they was doing what you was doing. That celebrates you.
Liz, thank you. Oh my God.
So I celebrate you on that, Carla. Yeah.
I just love your show. I love how people come on and spill their guts and how you make people laugh.
I try not to listen, Carla. Listen, I try not to be a Shannon Sharp. No pun intended, but I try not to be that. I like for people to tell this story in hopes that it will inspire people. Not to, I'm not looking to, I'm not looking for clickbait. I really want to tell somebody's story in hopes that their message would resonate with the next person and they can grow. I believe in the power of one. I remember listening to, I'm a huge fan of Israel Houghton.
Yes.
Huge fan of him. And I heard him give this testimony about the power of one. And I remember when he wrote the song, and he was talking about the power of one, and I may be paraphrasing, it may not be all the way correct, but in essence, he was saying, his mom walked across the street. I think it was a lady who wanted to take her hand, say you could take Christ's hand in salvation. Israel Houghton played the drums for many, for churches and small churches, large churches. You kind of know his story. I may be missing a little bit, but he was just talking about how if it had not been for that lady speaking into his mom, which was one person, till who knew that Israel Houghton will be singing around the world, speaking to the masses about the goodness of God. Literally about the goodness of God. Yes.
I was done. That's when, listen, we're going to talk about that.
Okay, go ahead, pay your bills. Yeah, I was about to get into it too, girl.
Cause we're gonna come back. Cause I see
Right
you done
on.
slapped the message up here. I was like, oh
Okay.
yeah, I'm talking. I forgot.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Please, just one moment, please, as I tell the
Go ahead, handle your business.
we got to have the artist of the week come on, because this is good. Look, I
It's
love
real
it when it
good.
just flows. Like I don't have to do nothing extra. He talks. I don't have to pull stuff out of you.
Nah.
Mr. Ross, it's amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing conversation, guys. I'm
Yes.
loving it.
Right on.
Our blast
Right
artist
on.
spotlight is a familiar. It's my man Yamasani. This song is called Love Tornado. Let's check it out.
Gratitude, I've woken up to see another day. It's time to stretch, then meditate. 5 in the morning and young still asleep. Got my workout and I'm brushing my teeth. It's time to study, it's turning 6. The young in their room still sleeping like bricks. Pray to my spirit God need an assist. Spirit God told me I'm being too strict. Yelling and screaming too much. Each moment seems like a fuss. Adrenals out of sequence, frequency frequently. So I've been seeking the secrets of us. Spirit God told me I stay on the move and don't make enough room for some breathing and touch. But we can adjust. Spirit God told me to be sure I'm sleeping by dusk and trust. Cause you gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. No one else can do it for you, King. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. No one else can do it for you, Queen. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. No one else can do it for you, King. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. You need some time to do yoga. Tell other priorities to move over. Know who you are when you sober. Put down the liquor, put down the doja just for a day. If it's too hard, you're nowhere close to yourself, you're too far. Some of us stay on the bottom like tar. Some of us rise up as high as a star. Some of us stay in a melancholy state of mind, looking up and don't try at the bar. Which one of you? 1, 2, or 3? You and yourself need to come to agree. Only opinion that matters is your inner chatter, and that's how it has to just be. Well, yours and the Lord's, of course, but God is what's happening above. Down here, you gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. No one else can do it for you, King. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. No one else can do it for you, Queen. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. No one else can do it for you, King. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. No one else can do it for you. What's your perception when you look in the mirror and see your reflection? Do you see royalty and perfection? Do you feel loyalty and connection? Do you feel like you're favored with blessings? You're greater than, do you feel less than? What's your biggest fears? What brings you to tears? Your peers, it appears no affection. Or do you feel stressed from the way people looked as you left cause you came with aggression? Or is it the fame and protection you seek that deplete you, defeat you, depression? This song is a pill that I'm giving that's too hard to swallow from deep indigestion. But I hope it leaves an impression and keeps you progressing. The message is you gotta love. You gotta love. No one else can do it for you, King. You gotta love. You gotta love. No one else can do it for you, Queen. You gotta love. No one else can do it for you, King. You gotta love. You gotta love. No one else can do it for you, Queen.
That's our boy
Nice.
Yamasani with Love Tornado.
Nice.
And if you are an
Nice.
independent artist or a spoken word poet or even up and comedian looking for some exposure, you can go to blastmusic247.com and register for free. The Blast is also looking for the fans. So you fans that love great music, you can go to blastmusic247.com and register as the unlimited fan and have access to hundreds and hundreds of independent music. Blast, we're constantly changing the industry, one artist at a time. All right, guys, back to you.
I love it. I love
Oh,
it.
that was great.
Oh, I love that. That was beautiful.
That message was like,
Yes.
okay.
That messes with everything.
Freak of Night. Yes, that is going on the Good Morning playlist. I love y'all, Masani. God always sends me messages through him.
Sure.
Shout out to y'all and what he's doing.
Yeah.
He really is about the love movement, and I really respect him as an artist, as a man,
no doubt.
as well. And he's down in Texas. So,
I love it.
Everybody on blast is from everywhere. I'm in Troy's in Florida. I'm here.
I love it.
Our music producer, he's in Salisbury. President of the company, he's in Texas. We got people all over the place, so it works. This is what we're doing here.
Yes, so, it's dope, man.
What you were saying before was so profound. It's just, accountability. Yes. A lot of people don't, and then we're talking about Israel Houghton. When I first saw Alpha and Omega, I remember I was in my house watching TV. Yeah. And I just happened to turn on the TV and the video had just came. It was like a premiere. And I was like, what is this? And they were in South Africa and it was live. And
wasn't that awesome?
I remember the spirit just came over my whole house. Like my kids were in here laid out. Like we were all laid out. And I was like, this dude is real. Like he's like the real deal. You know what I mean? So there was
if we can, I think if we can look past people's flaws and understand that people are human, I think that's been the problem. I think that's the problem that we have in marriages and relationships. And trust me, I'm speaking from experience, Carla. I've had a plethora of my sister, okay? I've been like Elizabeth Taylor. I've been like Elizabeth Taylor by his girl.
What's your zodiac sign, Chris?
Girl, I'm a Pisces, so you know.
Lord. So you one of them love suckers, huh?
Lord have mercy, I tell you. All I can do is sit back and laugh. But, you can laugh at it now. But, of course, when you're going through those things, it's not funny. But
it just be the end of the world. No,
it be the end of the world, girl.
So are you a February Pisces or a March Pisces?
I am a March Pisces.
Really?
I am a March Pisces. 14th.
Oh,
so
okay.
I am a March Pisces. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My grandma's a Pisces. My grandma will be 93 on her birthday. She's beautiful. March the 4th. And my daughter's a Pisces. She's February 24th. I got a February Pisces.
Wow. And my son, Chris Jr., is February the 28th.
See?
So he's a Pisces, yeah.
And I'm a Pisces moon. I can be very emotional.
Girl, don't talk about us being emotional, girl. Oh, God.
So I just, Pisces are good people. Y'all are very intuitive.
Yes.
My daughter, she knows stuff before people tells her. She's a social worker. So she's very quiet.
Sure.
I think she's entertaining going back and being a doula now.
Oh man, I think that's awesome.
And so I think it'll be awesome for her. But it's always good to know people's sign, because some people come in here and say, I don't know what my sign is, and I tell people, I love the Lord. I love him too.
I love him too.
But I very much believe in astrology for our behavior, because it's something that has been studied for thousands of years, not hundreds, thousands. And God made the planets for a reason. A lot of people don't check it, but the ocean, the sun, the moon, they all affect us, and there's a reason why God placed planets in the sky. Yeah, there's a reason why he made nature. We're all intertwined. And once you understand that, and that it does have a lot to do with our, behaviors sometimes. And now that you say you're a Pisces, I know you be doing a lot of damn apologizing.
God, dog it, girl.
Apologize and stuff. Listen, y'all do a lot. Just don't do it.
Girl.
That's what I always tell my Pisces. I'll be like,
Lord have mercy.
But you
Lord,
can't
that
help
was a
it.
part.
It's a learning
Can't help it,
process.
girl. It is, man. Like I was saying before, I think a lot of times in relationships we forget that we're with whether you're married, whatever kind of relationship that you in.
Right.
I believe that we have to look at people from a human aspect, because at the end of the day, there is not a perfect person, Carla. I guarantee you, if we could, if we was a fly on the wall, right? In most homes,
Baby,
I said,
not in.
would
Ooh,
they?
you don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
You don't
I
want to
think
know.
I was telling one of my boys, he was like, well, what about those people that have been together 30, 40 years? I said, they have mastered understanding that they're dealing with another human, and forgiveness is at the forefront of their relationship. And they've mastered that principle of loving your partner as Christ loved the church. They've mastered it. And it doesn't mean that they're perfect, Carla. Okay, let's be clear. Marriages can be dark, they can be ugly, but if you can master saying, "I'm able to love the unlovable," that's the word I wanted to look at. If you can master loving somebody when they're not lovable, then you can master a relationship, and that's difficult. Don't get me wrong. That is so freaking difficult. I know it. But girl, if you can master that, then you can be with somebody for a very, very long time. Friendship is so important, and communication is so important. And I don't think that there's a perfect relationship,
No, there's no such thing. But I think
no such thing.
What I call the perfect for each other relationships. Like
I was going to say that. I agree with that.
Perfect, but you will be like my grandparents were married. My grandfather literally died on my grandparents' 50th wedding anniversary.
Yeah. Wow.
And I would ask my grandma. I mean, my grandma had a whole village of children at my grandfather.
Wow. Okay, I got you.
My mom is one of. My grandma had 17 births, but only 14 lived. 14.
Okay, gotcha. Wow.
And she would tell me these things, like, especially as she started, before she left, she would tell me things, and my big daddy would tell me things, and I listened to them. And I said, how y'all stay together so long?
They did too.
And my my big daddy said, I love her little mean ass. What? That's not what you. That's not. But
oh Lord, yeah.
He meant it. He was like, she the sweetest, meanest thing ever. And I'd be like, that's not the right answer, but it is. For him, it was.
But it is though. For him, it was. Yeah.
And flaws and all, because my grandma had 3 kids when she met my granddaddy. Wow. And that was back then. And people was like,
that's right.
He gonna marry that woman and she got 3 kids. Yeah. He did.
Yeah, it's blended family. It's work with that. It's work with that.
I know, I did it. I mean, I'm divorced now.
Yeah, I did
was
it
with
too.
The same man for 17 years. I raised his kids and our kids. Yeah.
Wow, Carla. Yeah. Yeah, well, you made it 17. I didn't make it that long. I made it 8. I made it like 7 or 8, girl. It was tough. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Wait a minute,
I thought you were married now.
I am.
Oh, you mean the first time? Oh, you had more than one wife.
Wait a minute. Okay, now listen to me. Did you hear me say plethora?
I thought you in relationships, not marriages, sir. First of all, let's be specific.
Listen, let me say this. Let me say this to you. I am very, very real about that. I'm very, very real about that. Yeah, girl, I had a plethora of relationships. Hell, I was trying to figure things out, Carla.
Hey,
I was just trying to figure it out, girl. And growth and maturity, and man, you have to take a step back and look at yourself and say, man, you a mess.
And your wife is the bone. You better not.
Yeah. No.
I didn't even know she could sing till one day.
Yeah.
I went to a jazz event and I looked up on that stage. That's it.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you, I have a very, very great friendship with my wife.
That's so good.
my friend. There is peace.
And
There is
she's
love.
beautiful.
She's a beautiful individual.
Yeah.
And I'm not acting as if we got like this every day. Hey baby, no, some days we be like, nigga, I need for you to get out my damn face right now because I don't feel like being bothered. But see, we don't want to talk about
man
that.
And woman, you be like, baby, just stay over there.
Yeah. So
and see, that's why I like being single. I like for you to come and I like for you to go.
I respect it. Listen, it ain't for everybody, Carla.
I have to admit now, I think if I was to do it again, he would have to have a lot of patience.
Yeah. He's out there for you. It's a king out there for you, though. You don't look convinced at all.
Oh, no, sir. I don't know about it.
Hey, listen. I attribute to a lot of what I'm doing. Number one, God.
Right.
And listening to those that were in my circle at the time before I started the podcast.
So
I
when
guess I
did
can
you
shift
start
gears.
it? When did you start the podcast?
Okay. Let me tell you how I got here, if that's okay, Carla. We got time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So let me tell you how the podcast birthed. I was with Chris Bray for about 3 years. Chris was managing me for about 3 of those years. It's just a quick little story about me and Chris's relationship.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Chris was coming back from Vegas. He was getting ready to write that dude has 1 million films. Let me give him his flowers. He got 1 million films. Trust me, he does. That's just in the working. So he was doing a casting call and he hit me up on Instagram and was like, yo, man, I see your work, man. I love what you do. I love for you to work on this film that I'm working on. But, everything didn't work out. We did the read. The read was awesome. Things didn't work out. So I said, well, yo, Chris, I'll rock with you, man. Let's do this filming thing. So he got me my first gig with Swivel Barbershop. I did some spokesman work with Swivel Barbershop. So Chris kind of taught me a little bit about filming because I didn't know much about filming other than what I had already done. Right. Okay. So by the time Chris had taught me about filming, I was able to take those expertise and use it because I was still with G. Davis at the time. Okay. So G. Davis had started filming, so I was able to take those skills that I learned from Chris to put them on film for G. Davis while we were still, all going up and down the East Coast and then filming, those different episodes that we did for Christmas and then some other stuff that we did. It was pretty amazing. So I came back and then I was telling Chris, I was like, yo, man, I want to start my podcast, man. And he was like, Ross, listen, man, the podcast, he said, I don't want you to get, his words to me was, I don't want you to get discouraged and quit. But at the time as an artist, like, hell, I want to jump in. I don't need you telling me this. I know what I want to do.
Exactly.
So I fell back and I said, all right, what you got? So I went and served under the Aaron T. Jones Jet Black Empowerment Foundation. And I did the Jet Black Daily Show as a host for their podcast, which was a direct connect for the nonprofit organization. And it was the best thing. It was the best thing he could have ever had me do. I was telling him that I said, Chris, out of everything that you have told me to do, I said, bro, this one right here has been the greatest thing ever because that is where I learned about podcasting. There is where I learned about how much equipment costs. There is where I learned to find my voice. There is where I learned about microphones, how to speak into a microphone, about mic discipline. All of those things were preparing me for where I am now today. So Chris introduced me to Dwayne Jones, who's the president of the Aaron T. Jones Jet Black Empowerment Foundation. You guys make sure you go check them out and donate to them. So I served with them for 1 year. For 1 year, I did that. And then I went to Chris right before he got ready to do Trauma. I had a huge role in Trauma. I left before he unveiled it because I wanted to start my podcast. It was personal for me. I wanted to start my podcast. I said, hey man, I gave you a year, bro. I'm ready to do my thing. And he released me. You know, he was like, you know what, Ross? I get it. We shook hands, we left and went and talked to the president, Mr. Dwayne Jones. Did the same thing there. I told him, I said, hey man, I think it's time for me to do my own thing. And this picture that you see, this portrait behind me that you see back behind me is what they gifted me. They gifted me that and 2 chairs and gave me a handshake and gave me Godspeed. And, you know, I really accredit that tutelage for where I am now today. And this is how I got into podcasting. It's that simple. And then God did the rest. So you kind of get it now. So
yes.
that's how the journey began. And then, you know, I had some struggles. I went through several cameramen, and you know, that's a struggle. That's a struggle, especially when there's no capital. But I always say those folks, you know, when people leave too soon, then they miss it. I think there's a season where you have to sit still and just wait. So now the ship came in, and I have Mr. Jamal Davis, who has just been a blessing to me and to this establishment. And we have built, and we continue to grow, continue to build, and you know, I don't think I can tell you. I'm almost getting choked up about it, Carla.
Yeah, hey, I understand. You know, episode 75. Episode
75. So I know this was God's doing. I went from a small space right down the hallway. And I remember God telling me, he said, son, you know, if you be faithful over these small things, I will bless you abundantly. I'll bless you, but I need for you. Don't do that, okay? Don't do that. So I sat still in my small office down the hallway. And I remember I walked into this wonderful space that I'm in now. And I was like, man, the funny thing is I was supposed to collaborate with somebody in this space. And God had given me the favor in the building. You know, God has given me favor here. So it was easy for me to go right into this. And when that fell through, I was stuck with the lease, Carla. Yeah, I was stuck with the lease. So I was going to quit. So my mom came up here. I'm going to try to make this quick because I know we got running out of time. But
no, you good.
Okay. So, Carla, I like to tell this story, but I'm only telling it because of the goodness of God, not bragging, but the goodness of God. And it don't have nothing to do with me being this perfect person, because I'm not. Trust me, I am not a perfect individual, Carla. Right. But it is about my obedience and relationship to the Creator and what he has designed for me to do for my life. It didn't have nothing to do with nobody else. And so when I came up here, Carla, I thought I was going to collaborate with somebody. I didn't know where the money was going to come from. I signed the paperwork in faith and trusting in another individual, right? And then we tend to do that. Because we're in a small art circle. We're very trusting. So I trusted. I was like, okay, cool. Well, if we're going to split this down the middle, we good. Well, it didn't work out that way. And I was stuck with the lease. Carla, I was stuck with the lease. And I'm looking around like, oh, Lord, how I'm going to pay for this thing, right? So I called my mom, and she was like, oh, no, you can't quit. She said, I'm coming up there with the oil. See, my mom old school. She came up here with the oil, speaking in tongues. Carla, you know how, listen, Carla, listen. So Sheila Beverly done came up here, anointed the room, right? Anointed the room, prayed in the flow, got to speaking in tongues. Get down on your knees. Get down on the knees. I hear God now. Get on your knees.
I would have been there like, hey.
Yeah, and I'm a crybaby. You know, I'm a Pisces. So, you know, I was in here crying. Yeah, Lord. Oh, Lord. Jesus God. Oh, Lord.
I'm hollering.
And so I dried my tears, Carla, and got up, girl. And then my mama went over to the door. And I think this is probably the part where it really made me cry. She said, have you looked at the numbers on this door? Have you looked at the numbers on this door? I looked at the number. She was like, I love my mama. She said, fool, it's your birthday. So my numbers are 314. That's my sweet number. That's my birthday, Carla. It don't get no more plainer than that, right?
Divine.
It was divine. It was divine. And
divine timing.
Yes. And so
that's something we talk about on here all the time. If you watch my shows.
It was God's doing. That's why I don't listen to what other people are saying. Hey, come over here. You know, if you do this right here, if you join this now, I have gone to pod summits. I have spent money and invested into myself and, done all of these wonderful things. But I'm not going to change what God has given me because he's blessed me because I'm doing it the way he wants me to do it. It ain't got nothing to do with me being this perfect individual, Carla, but it is figuring out what's the word I want to use? Figuring out the perfect blueprint that God has for your life. See, you have this podcast. It's perfect for Carla. It's perfect for Carla, right? It's designed for you. Only the Creator can do that for you.
Right.
And we're made in the likeness of his image. God is in us. We're walking around small gods, small kings, small gods. And I know people don't like to hear that, but if you're made in the likeness and image of God, and I see you, sister, I see a queen. I see a goddess. When you see me, you see a God. You see a king.
Yes.
But we have a superior creator being that's ruling over us. And so I think if we can tap into that, then we can begin to manifest things in our life and we can see them unveil. And so everything that I have in this office was either given to me. The only thing, and I'll be very, very frank, the only thing that I paid for in this office was these expensive ass microphones. And anything else that you see in here, sister, the interface and all this other equipment, I had to spend money on that. But other than that, Carla, this was God's doing. So I don't listen to other people and say, hey, you know why you're not getting numbers like this? Nah. I'm rocking with the Creator. I got a divine influence that's telling me how to do this. Mm-hmm. That's even greater than any of the wisdom that you think you might have. His wisdom and his creativity is even bigger and greater than we can ever even imagine. And so I've tapped into that. It's about relationship. Now, there are times where I have to put the cigars down, Carla. I got to put the cognac down so I can hear from the Creator, about the next move. I cut my beard off. I had to do a cleanse. I got to hear from God. I need to hear from him.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't know, how am I going to do this? Where I'm going to go? What I'm going to do this? That don't mean you're no bad person. It just means, hey, God, I need to hear from you. What is it that you need from me, Carla? Right now.
Hear me?
And Carla,
I know, because I become a hermit when God is dealing with me. I just want to be in
Carla.
my house and I just be in here chilling by myself. And God be telling me stuff.
Yes, Carla. And, he's the ultimate creator. Yeah. He's the ultimate creator. I live off that. I believe in that. And I'm glad that you invited me on, sister, because I wanted to share that. That's why I say when people be getting jealous and angry, I ain't put no darn money in this. God did this. You mad at God. You ain't mad at me.
Honey, what Mary say, honey? You think I'm so fresh? You think I'm so clean?
No, man. God did this.
What is it
I'll tell anybody.
When you see me? Listen.
Come on.
It's the God in me. That's it.
It's the God in me. Carla.
That's it.
It's the God in me. I ain't all that great and that wonderful, but the God in me is, though.
And look, I'm the Peter Christian. Because I cuss and bless you at the same. Hey, God say.
Carla, let me tell you something.
I just keep it real.
You kept me, you catch me on the right day. Okay? You catch me on the right day.
I already know how y'all Pisces unravel.
Oh Lord,
listen,
it's a Negro
I call
over here
it unraveling because it takes a lot for y'all to go there. But when you do, it's like a ball of yarn. It starts spinning real fast. And you be like, wait a
Oh Lord. Now, don't get me wrong. I've gotten better since I've gotten older.
It's hilarious because my daughter, she's real quiet. She don't trouble the water.
Yeah.
My other daughter's a Capricorn, and you know Capricorns do this. And baby, one day that Capricorn was doing this to the Pisces.
Oh, it don't.
Honey,
Yes,
next
sir.
thing I know, I heard. Honey, it happened so quick. She slapped the taste out the Capricorn mouth. And I said, and the Capricorn called her, and I said, she said she slapped me. I said, but I sat here and watched you mess with her.
Yeah.
And she was just as calm. It had soothed her whole spirit to slap the sister like that. And she just slapped and went back to her business. I said, Lord, what am I doing? Am I a bad parent? Honey.
Oh boy.
But I know, but you know what? Life will test you. Life will put you in places.
It will, Carla.
But like you said, those divine timing blessings. And it ain't nothing like a mama that don't mess around with praying, because my mama like that too. And then the girl come in with that, baby, she be on it.
What? She will put people out. She said to somebody, hey, listen, I know you here to see Chris, but can I have about 30 minutes with him? Because I need to pray. I hear God speaking. And my mama like that.
My mama be praying
I'll
in
talk
her
with you
house.
tomorrow.
She said God made her disabled so she could sit home and pray for people. No, seriously.
I love it. No, I love it.
She said that's her ministry. She said that's why God has always allowed her to have health issues, because it helps her to understand people who have health issues.
I love that. I love that. That's a great perspective, though.
But that's how she thinks. That's really how she thinks. And my mom is the GOAT in my eyes.
Mine too.
She went through a lot to make sure that me and my sister are okay. She did the best she knew how to do, is what I'll say.
Sure.
She was not a perfect mother. Nobody's a perfect mother or father. I have had to apologize to my children, especially now that I got grandkids. You know, now I be like,
yes.
You know what? I know I used to tell y'all Taylor, but you ain't got to do that. They be like, first of all, who are you? I be like, listen, you ain't always got to whoop the child. They be like, who are you? First of all, because baby, I used to tell they tail up. Well, baby, when them grandbabies came, don't you touch my baby. Don't you touch her.
I'm sure.
Okay, so it's a trip, but we learn, because there's no handbook other than the Bible and what you see.
That's it, Carla.
And you have to make a decision. Am I going to do what I saw?
Yeah. Or
am I going to do something different? Because some of the stuff my mama did, even though my mom was a great mom, some stuff I said I would never do.
Sure.
Like hit my kids with a fly swatter. That's something I never do.
Girl, you so
my
crazy.
My mama would hit us with a fly swatter, and I just to be like, oh my God, she hit me with something she killed flies with. It used to tear my soul up. So I said I would never do that to my children.
Boy, my mama was a hanger throwing somebody.
Baby,
that thing would come around the corner.
Listen, I grab a shoe so quick and throw it. And my children used to be like, that thing could throw a shoe around the corner. Baby,
absolutely.
And I said, Lord help me. That's not God. You're supposed to be throwing shoes at your children.
Yeah.
But you learn.
It's beautiful.
You learn.
You learn, Carla.
Right?
You learn.
So I just, wait a minute. I asked you to send in pictures and video.
I did. I was hoping I sent in some pretty good stuff.
Because we just been talking. Me and him just
we
been
have.
Something up there
oh
real
my
quick.
God, we have.
Look at that. Look,
man, that's when I had that beard.
That's when he had that beard. He done trimmed it up a little bit. So this is one of his pictures. Okay, now show us something. So this is.
This is Daddy's Boys. This
is the cast of that. That was an amazing play, y'all. I promise you, it was amazing. Okay.
Yes, that was me doing prostate cancer. I had a nice little banner that was done doing Daddy's Boys, and
I love that.
It was for prostate cancer. It was amazing. And
to all the brothers fighting the fight, because my grandfather, my big daddy died from prostate cancer. So y'all go get your prostate checked. Don't be scared. Just go do it.
And now this picture right here is an interesting story. I was a part of the cast of Stuff Inside My Head, which is a play that's written by Michael Garcia. And we had an opportunity to perform in front of Lamar Jackson, Anthony Anderson, Tweet, an array of individuals that we had an opportunity to perform in front of. Stuff Inside My Head. Again, playwright Michael Garcia. He's a poet. Amazing writer. And I was with them probably from, I think our last show was about a couple of months ago. Well, my last show was about a couple of months ago. And I had the wonderful opportunity of doing It's Okay Not to Be Okay. It is a nonprofit organization by Lamar Jackson. And we had the opportunity to perform in front of those elite individuals within the industry. And it was absolutely amazing. Yeah. And that was at the Anthem Theater. In D.C.
I love it.
Yeah. So it's beautiful. Now, this shot right here was taken. I was on stage. I think that's at Winston-Salem State. When we performed in Winston-Salem, the show. And that was Daddy's Boys. And yeah. That's me and KP.
That man right there had me laughing the whole time.
Yeah, that's me and KP on stage. Yes, sir. Amazing time.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Yeah. You have blessed me so profoundly by coming on here tonight and sharing your truth. I told you I wasn't going to hold you long. Now, see, I kept you over just a little bit.
Guess what? It's all good. It's all good, Carla.
I just want to wish you, oh my God, you are the best. And then Tisha Ray had got on here and said she loved Miss Sheila. Is that your mama?
Yes.
She said she loved Miss Sheila, honey. That's what she said. And she meant that. You could tell.
Yes, sir.
And I had Tisha on here a few weeks ago. She is amazing.
Okay. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. She's at 102 Jams, right? She's at 102 Jams, right?
Yes.
She was, yeah. Just an amazing individual. Her family's great, too.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. And I just love her because she keep it real. You know, and Chris, listen, stick around after the show because if Troy asks me, he said, listen, don't hang up. When we go to bed, don't hang up.
It's all good.
So tell the people how they can watch one of my favorite podcasts that I watch and how they can follow you and all those things. Tell us.
You can follow us at the Ross Cloud 12 on Instagram. And you can check out my Linktree link, Ross Vision 12. It's my link inside my bio. And you can check out some of the cool things we have in It's a CNS Thing shop. We got a nice little apparel shop. You can go over and purchase you a hat and some clothing. And you can catch us on YouTube at the Ross Cloud Podcast 7722. And it's the Ross Cloud Podcast. And you can hear us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to your podcast, pretty much. Yeah. And
I just want to say, shout out to Jelani. That's my little brother. That's my brother. Oh my God, I love Jay.
Yeah, that's my brother.
I call him Cool Jay because he been cool. Yeah. Me and his brother say cool. We're really good friends in high school because Jay's younger than us.
Okay,
but Jay's always been the cool little brother. You know what I mean?
He is, man.
And I'm so proud to see him because I told him he gonna be on here too. You know, Jay. He about the people.
Yeah, come on, I love it.
And he's an Aggie Pride.
And he's an Aggie Pride. He's an amazing individual.
And
he's an amazing individual.
You had Sunny on your show. I love Sunny.
Oh, I love Sunny. Yes. Spirit of Life.
The lady you had talking about love, that was one of the best episodes ever, by the way.
Which one? Which one we was talking about?
The lady that had the braids and she was talking about, oh God, I can't remember her name.
Oh,
it was a few episodes ago and she was talking about love. And I was like, okay, I ain't gonna quit then. Because, honey, every other week, I'll be like, you know what? I can't deal with these men that you made, God.
Yeah, she's an amazing individual. Yeah.
She was great, though. That was a great episode. If you ever feel a way about loving, just in general, not just male, female, but just being if you are a loving being, you present differently in this world. Like
you do. You do. You do.
Because when people do stuff to us because we're loving, it's hard. And I'm speaking for myself. I mean, you already said your part. So,
oh my God, girl, yes.
We just be like, listen.
Yes.
How could you do me like that? And I love you.
Oh Lord, Jesus.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
honey, these
yeah.
little honey, I'll be like, God, these things that you made, honey, with these beards and penises, God, help me. Because
I know
I
we're
don't
trip.
know what to do, Jesus. I don't.
Listen, I know we can be
And
a
I've
trip
been by
until we
myself
grow
for a
up.
long time.
You know, we got to grow up, Carla. You know, we got to grow up. Lord, we got to grow up. It take us a little while, Carla. Be patient with us, sister.
And that ain't got nothing to do with it, because Mr. Willis still act a fool. Now, you know, Ross, you ain't never been to one of my comedy shows. When I talk
Lord
about it, I
Jesus.
got me. Listen, I like them
Lord.
young and I like them old, honey. I got me
Okay,
an
I got
old
you.
when I call him Mr. Willie. I got me a little older gentleman I fool with sometimes. And then I got
Oh,
a
I
little
love
young
it.
one that I play with sometimes. And you know,
Not play
sometimes
with.
I want old and sometimes I want young. But what I
Oh,
have
Lord have
surmised
mercy,
is that
girl.
a fool is a fool. It don't matter how old it is. Honey.
Man, Carla, say that. Say that.
And that
Say
goes for
that,
women
Carla.
too. Sometimes I
Yes.
have to check myself. I have to be like, Carla, now you know,
Well, you know.
you're going to have to apologize to that brother. Okay.
Oh, Carla,
So,
Carla,
you know,
man,
maybe
you
there's
crazy.
somebody out there. Help me. Pray for me when if you know the word
I
of prayer. I
will.
know what they say at church. If you
That's
know
what
the
they
word.
say. Girl, that's what they say. That's what they say, Carla. That's what they
Right.
say.
You know what? So the next episode, this guy that you've been promoting,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to see that one.
Which one? Which one?
The one that you just advertised on TikTok the other day.
Oh,
The
man.
gentleman that's on your show. I don't know.
Lord.
I don't know his
Oh,
name.
Lord. Girl, God, dog it. You know how many
Chris.
people I talk to? I know it. What I talking about?
It's a little shorter gentleman.
He's
He
short.
bald headed.
He bald head.
Okay, listen. Y'all go watch the
Carla,
show. Like he said, go.
Hold on, Carla. What the world?
I don't work neither. And I'm to the bottom of this glass and I got to pee. So listen.
Girl, you crazy.
So
Oh, Lord
and
Jesus.
Todd tell you, honey, by the time we get to the end of a show, some days I be like this in the background. I be like this. So
Girl, you so crazy. I'm sitting here looking through it right now. You said he bald headed.
I think that's the guy that you on your next episode. You just promoted it.
Oh, that ain't no guy. That's a side.
Okay, listen. So what we gonna do is,
Oh my God.
God
Okay,
forgive
that-
us.
God forgive us. That's psychotherapist Beth Kincaid.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, she's gonna
amazing.
come on.
She look like
She's
she gonna
amazing.
be amazing.
I can't with you, Carla. I cannot with you, okay? I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you, girl. Lord, I kept saying, man. I said, well, hold on now. That
And
ain't
look, I'm
nobody
gonna
else.
have your sister on here too, cause honey, that thing
Oh,
sang me
yes.
up under the table one day. I said,
Woo.
baby, let me tell you, y'all, his sister, she can sing. You hear me?
Woo,
I listened to her. I
woo.
said, oh God.
Man, that girl, she blows me away, man. And I grew up
Listen,
like it's
y'all mama
crazy.
put that thing on y'all with that talent. Y'all dad. See, I get a lot of my stuff from my daddy. I really do.
Man.
Just like honestly.
Yeah.
My
The love
dad
for
was
jazz.
at Apollo and won right before he died. And
Get
got
out of here.
yeah, he had a band called
Wow.
the Savoy. And my dad could play 10 instruments proficiently.
Come on, Carla.
If you
It's
ever watch my
beautiful,
dad
man.
perform, like people still talk about him to this day. My dad would be on
It's
the
beautiful.
drums, jump up, play the keyboard, get on the bass, play the guitar,
I love
sing,
it.
dance, go back, get on another instrument, play the harmonica. I mean, I seen my daddy do it all in one show.
Carla, I love
And people
it.
would
I
be
love it.
mesmerized, but age
Yeah.
cut his life short. And that's what I be trying to tell people. Baby, y'all better watch yourself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm just telling
Yes,
you what
sir.
I know.
Oh, you
Um,
telling the truth, sister. You telling the
Because
truth.
a lot of us go out of here before our greatness. But what I can
Yes.
say is that he lives in me. He lives in my kids. He lives in my
Come on.
grandbaby.
Come on.
So
That's right.
he's still here, you know.
That's right.
And
That's
we're
right.
doing what we're doing. And
I'ma
we
have you
got it
on.
honest
I'ma
from
have
my
you on.
grandma Georgia. So
Yep. I'm gonna have you on my show too. By the way, I'm putting it out there. So You'll get an invitation, so just get ready, okay?
I'm ready. I am so ready.
I want you to come to the office, though. I want you to come to the studio.
I'll be right over there, honey.
Yes,
I'll get in that little car. I have it on 3 wheels getting over there.
You bring your wine with you, Carla. And sit in here, and we're going to talk about everything that you're doing. Trust me.
Look, I know how to do that, too. Yeah, I know how to do that. So I thank you. I wish you, I always try to tell my people before they leave, I wish God's blessings upon you. I wish the best.
Sure.
I pray that everything that you wish and desire manifests if it's for your good. Only if it's for your good. And I thank you for coming on here and talking to me so eloquently and just letting the people know who the Ross Cloud Podcast and Chris Ross is. Yes, I appreciate you, brother. Keep doing your thing, okay?
Right on. I thank you, sister. I thank you so much. What an honor to be here today. It's a pleasure being with you today.
Thank you. And don't leave.
Welcome.
Don't leave.
Okay, I'm chilling.
Hey, everybody. I'll see y'all next week.
Woo!
That's my girl right there.